Ow! I guess this movie gave me neck aches. Whiplash over. Anyway, yeah, Spider-Man, No Way Home. No Way Home, which 2021 film, the third in this MCU universe. Okay, here are the positives I'll give the film. The acting's good from everyone. The action's really good, decent in spots. And there's also a scene where Andrew Garfield, because yes, spoilers in this review, the original OG Spider-Man is in it, as well as the Amazing Spider-Man, which to me is not really amazing, but the only amazing scene he does in this entire movie I thought was really funny, and the highlight of his spotlight was when Ned's grandmother or mother asks him to like climb up on the ceiling and clean out a webbing in the corner, and so he does. He just waves it out of the corner or whatever, cleans it. That's the only thing that made me chuckle. I don't know, like the way he waved his hand, just nonchalant. Because they want to prove, because Zendaya's character MJ, really is Michelle Jones, I believe, or Michelle something, Michelle Rogers. She wants to, because Ned ends up. Okay, if you saw the trailer, you already know Dr. Octopus is in it. Green Goblin, Electro, Sandman, a Lizard is also in it. So there's those, I believe, 5 villains, and they do a decent job of balancing them, because really Dr. Octopus is in, he's like the first one that gets showcased, and then Sandman with Electro, and then Lizard, Green Goblin, of course, with Octavius, but he's the final boss in a way. But yeah, again, the acting was good to pretty good. The action's fine and pretty good. I loved the interplay between the three, well, really, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man. A little bit of Tom Holland's Peter Parker I liked with those other 2 Peters. I enjoyed their dialogue off each other. So it's that type of stuff I liked. It's not really a dark chapter in the Spider-Man universe. I'm sorry, like, that's false advertisement. Oh, Aunt May dies. Okay. And so I mean, it's not really dark. Like, I don't get, like, the director or whoever was like hyping this up. It's gonna be the darkest chapter. I mean, not really. It's not really depressing, unless you count maybe the ending where Doctor Strange has to do like a spell to make everyone forget Peter ever existed, I guess. I mean, I guess that's that's depressing there. But that's like the only really depressing thing. Because, granted, yeah, Aunt May's dead, but they also ignore Uncle Ben. It's like, did he even have an uncle? Like, did this Peter ever have an uncle? Because there's a scene where he's about to quote, with great power comes great responsibility, but instead it's to MCU's Peter, it's said from Aunt May, whereas us OG fans of Tobey and even Amazing Spider-Man, it's Uncle Ben that says that. And the fact that this Peter totally, like, wait, who said, how do you know that? How do you know, Aunt May said that or whatever? And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. So, in this universe, it's Aunt May it says that and not Uncle Ben? Or if he even had an Uncle, I guess he never had an Uncle Ben, I guess. Because they never say that at all. They never mention him in Homecoming or Far From Home. So I'm like, I guess he never had an Uncle Ben. And the movie starts off fine. I was rooting against Peter at the beginning because it's his fault, technically. I love how Zendaya's character and Ned, like, they blame it all on Doctor Strange. It's his fault. It was your spell, so it's your fault technically for all this happening. No, it's Peter's fault because he couldn't keep his mouth shut and then he couldn't even. Because what Doctor Strange does, because everybody finds out his identity from Far From Home at the final events of the last movie, and into this one, people know who he is. So he's basically like a huge celebrity, harassed, arrested at one point. So yeah, that part was kind of interesting. I wish they would went with that more. I believe that's how it was in the comics. The police thought he was a vigilante, basically. We have J. Jonah Jameson in this, who's also annoying. I liked him more in Sam Raimi's version, because he seems way more not over the top, but like way too much against Spider-Man. I mean, I know he was against him in those movies, but I don't know, I still liked him in those movies. Whereas here is like annoying and then like very unlikable. I don't know, like I didn't care for this J. Jonah Jameson. I did not like this one. It was amazing again. It was awesome to see Tobey Maguire, OG Spider-Man, in the suit. I was worried, were we going to get him in the suit? Because when we first see him, he's just in a normal, formal suit. Then he gets in the suit. He fights alongside the other two Spider-Mans. So, yeah, that was cool. And I guess they reference Spider-Man 3 loosely, very quickly and, like, nonchalantly, where I believe Ned asked him, do you ever have a best friend? And he's like, yeah, he died in my arms after he tried to kill me. So I thought that was funny. Also, I think they also referenced Spider-Man 3 again, because they do have Sandman in this as well, which I did not care for. Although here, I didn't mind him. Whereas in that movie, I think he shouldn't have been in it at all, but, you know. I did my review of Spider-Man 3. Go watch that, of why I don't like Sandman. Here, I didn't really care for him here, but he was a total villain here. So, all throughout, he didn't trust anybody. I liked this one more than the sympathetic they tried to make him in the third one. And he never turns human throughout the movie. Like, he's always sand form, except at the very end. But yeah, I hated the whole, oh, we're gonna try to cure their evilness so they can go back home and be good. I'm like, they die by Spider-Man, by fate. Like, there's no... But, of course, he cures them because, yeah. But, I don't know, like, and then Aunt May is also encouraging the fact that he should do this as well. Like, that was annoying to me. Like, he's like, this isn't our problem. And it's not. These are villains. Like, whatever. But yeah, this whole time I was, early on, I was against Peter in this over trying to sympathize with villains, because we already did that in the last few Spider-Man films. It was redundant. I still enjoy those films, but or the first three anyway. Amazing Spider-Man's okay. I like more the Gwen Stacy and Andrew Garfield or Spider-Man dialogue chemistry there. And here I read on, I think it was Facebook. I believe it was Facebook or Instagram or somewhere, or an article where Tom Holland apparently doesn't want to have Spider-Man be in his 30s and in college or something, or he doesn't want him to be 30 and still be or some. I forget what the stupid article was, but that sounded so dumb. He's a man. He's Spider-Man. He's supposed to be a man in his man years. Like, what? So I don't know if that's true or not. If that's, hey, that's nothing against Tom Holland, but like, I don't understand that logic. He's a man, so he's supposed to be older and still Spider-Man. That's the whole, whatever. What do I know? And granted, I'm not a Spider-Man fanatic or hardcore fan. I love Spider-Man, the movies, the first three anyway. I enjoyed the 90s cartoon a good bit. But even that new, well, it's not really new, but it's MTV version of Spider-Man I didn't watch yet, but I do want to start reacting to it, so maybe I'll do a few episodes of that. But yeah, here I was rooting against that early on for trying to make the villains sympathetic, and Jamie Foxx's character Electro, like, he's straight on, like, he's totally evil. Like, he even plots to if things don't go the right way, I'm gonna fry him anyway, or whatever he said. I'm like, wow. And you want to save these people? And then they like totally, like Doctor Strange, they totally like kick him out of, because Peter then locks him into another universe, into like a mirror universe. So he's pretty much sidelined throughout the movie, through the rest of the movie, which I'm like, and then they're like, because then when they really need help, he's not gonna be there to help because Ned has his ring, and then he's like, I have magic, and no, it's not really you. I get the character in Ned's supposed to be like a dummy, not really dumb, but not too bright, but he started to get on my nerves a bit. So that's another negative. But yeah, the rest of the movie I was okay with. I was starting to get bored though towards the action scenes, because granted, like, this, nothing to do with the movie, but the quality version that I saw, I didn't see it in the theater, so you can guess how I saw this movie early. But yeah, it was too dark, so I couldn't really see what was going on a good bit with Toby and Norman's fight. Or in most of that, half of that fight where the three Spider-Men are fighting multiple villains, which I liked. I did like that. I liked how they were acting like a unit and like a football team. All right, hut, go. Hike. And then they, But yeah, I guess people are going to enjoy this. I do recommend it, for sure. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, though. Like, the highlight to me is the interactions between the three Peters, Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield doing the, like, waving away the speck of web in the corner. yeah, everything else was just okay to fine. It's a fine movie. Nothing really amazing. Um, I guess if you want to see what was that animated? It was with Miles Morales, Spider-Man. It was like an animated CGI film. What was it? Spider-Verse? Into the Spider-Verse. If you want to see a live-action version of that, I guess, because there are 3 Spider-Men in here, so. But yeah, I do recommend it for sure. If you're a fan of Spider-Man, you'll probably enjoy it. Well, not even probably, you will enjoy it. If you're a fan of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, you'll enjoy it because he's in it a good bit. Andrew Garfield, the same. Oh yeah, for those that claim that picture of Andrew Garfield doing where we see like a first picture of him in the suit, and he's like holding on to like a background ledge or whatever. Yeah, that's real. So people that were skeptical or were like, "Oh, this is doctored photos" or "This is fake." No, it was actually a real picture of him, holding on to the rail. So yeah, just want to clear that up. Anyway, if anybody would like to request reviews, reactions, commentaries, what have you, you can request that through joining either my Patreon or PayPal. I hope you enjoyed this review, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I get so you know when you get so you know when I drop more content. Make sure to share, tell your friends, family, whatever, whoever. Then yeah, peace and love, and happy holidays to everyone.